Rabbi, where are we up to?
I will show you in a second. Here we go. We're on Gimel
No,
Amud Beis.
I have my own Gemorah.
Gimel Amud Beis.
Gimel Amud Beis. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Gimel Amud Beis. We'll be there in a moment. We're going to have it shown up here in a moment. We're going to be in Gimel Amud Beis. Okay. Here's Gimel Amud Beis.
Okay.
There we go. All right, we are on Gimel Amud Beis, Rabbi Say. We are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lines before the wide lines. Gufa. Okay, this is where we're up to, where the hand is. Gufa.
Yeah.
All right, that's what we got up to last time.
Okay.
Oh, Gufa. Okay.
All right, now, to remind everybody, we spent a lot of time discussing on Daf Beis. Hello? Yitzchok Dov and Nisan Eliezer.
Oh.
The Yitzchok Dov Rottenstein Shiur, sponsored by Rav Mordechai. By the way, I should mention at the beginning, tomorrow we begin Mesechta Nazir, and it's available for sponsorship. If you'd like to sponsor Mesechta Nazir, let me know. It's available. It's believe it or not, the last time someone sponsored a shiur in honor that his daughter get engaged and his,
and that happened.
Yes.
and his children have children. Guess what?
It happens.
It's happening, right?
Right, it's happening, right?
So, climb on the bandwagon, guys. Starting tomorrow, the Mesechta Nazir. Okay, I'd like to sponsor. We're starting tonight with the Yitzchok Dov and Nisan Eliezer Rottenstein Shiur with the word Gufa. Till now, in Mesechta Megilah, we spent the last blot and a half dealing with questions of Meis Mitzvah and Mikra Megilah, which comes first, and what the order is, and so on and so forth. Now, the Gemara is now going to get back to the nitty-gritty of Mesechta Megilah, dealing with a few interesting issues. We're not going to focus on the first few. We're going to learn them, and we're going to discuss them according to Rashi, but we're not going to go too deep into the Tosfos, because the Tosfos really belong to a different Mesechta, having to do with explaining the laws of Batei Arei Choma, the cities of a walled town. If you look at the end of Chumash Vayikra, you will see in Baharim B'Chukosai, it speaks about what's called Batei Arei Choma, houses in walled cities. Walled cities have a unique place in Jewish life. There are a number of different explanations for why walled cities have a unique place. Here in Mesechta Megilah, we discussed already that walled cities from the time of Yehoshua ben Nun read the Megillah on the 15th day in the month of Adar instead of on the 14th, because we don't want to give credence to any cities that were outside Eretz Yisrael. We want to make the point that the walled cities of Eretz Yisrael have a unique status, and consequently, if they were walled from the time of Yehoshua ben Nun on, they have the unique status of a walled city, and they are like Shushan. And just like Shushan had Shushan Purim, that means that in the time of the miracle of Purim, the Jews fought on the 14th day of Adar throughout all the provinces of Paras and Madai, Persia and Media, 127 provinces, and they fought and they were able to win the war. But Mordechai and Esther asked Achashverosh not only to give the 14th, but to give the 15th to the people of the city of Shushan, which was the capital and a walled city, so that they could fight again on the 15th and be victorious, and they were, and that's why Purim is celebrated on Shushan Purim in all walled cities, but not walled cities from the time of Shushan, but walled cities going back 1,000 years before to the time of Yehoshua ben Nun. And we already discussed that the reason for that is so that Eretz Yisrael gets a certain special chashivas. It gets a special element of importance that Eretz Yisrael should be the focus of all the halacha. And consequently, we read on the 15th in walled cities in Eretz Yisrael. There is a very interesting discussion by one of the most recent classic commentators on the Torah, who happens to have been a Rebbe of mine when I was in Yeshiva, Rabbi Jacob Joseph. He was Rabbi Weinberger, and Rabbi Weinberger so beautifully in his Sefer Shemen HaTov explains that the greatness of the walled cities of Eretz Yisrael is because, despite what Rashi mentions in Devarim, the fact of the matter is that the walled cities such as Yericho were impregnable. The Psukim testify that no one ever came into Yericho, no one ever left Yericho without permission. It was a locked down city. You couldn't get in, you couldn't get out. It was impregnable. Nobody was able to break through the walls, the defenses. It was so solid. And yet, when Yoshua brought the Jews to Eretz Yisrael, they walked around the city of Yericho, and the walls came tumbling down. And so the walled cities have a special quality in terms of the miracles that took place. And so we have a special law in the Megilah about walled cities. And now we begin today's Shiur with the word Gufa. Here we go. Gufa. Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. And we're going to see that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is going to make a lot of statements over here. Omar Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. The great Amora Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi says, Krach, any city that's a walled city, v'chol hasamuch lo, and any other city that's near the walled city. And we learned on the previous Amud that samuch lo means derech mil, a distance of a mil. A mil is 2,000 amos, 4/5 of a mile. So, krach, v'chol hasamuch lo, walled city, and any other city that's near it within 4/5 of a mile, that's Tchum Shabbos, v'chol hanira imo, and any city that can be seen with it, not only near it, but it can be seen with it, nidun kekrach, has the halachic status in terms of Mikra Megilah as a krach. Doesn't have a walled city status in any other halachic terms, but in terms of the B'drabbanan law of reading the Megilah on the 15th, if it's either samuch lo, if it's nearby within 2,000 amos, 4,000 feet, or it can be seen with it, it has the same din as a krach. It has the same din as a walled city, and is going to read the Megilah on the 15th. Tana, and we have a Vraisa. Samuch, if it's nearby, that means within a mil, within 2,000 amos, even if you can't see it. If it's nearby, even though you can't see it, or nearer, if it can be seen, even though it's not nearby, it can be seen with it, but it's not nearby, it also has the din of a walled city, which would mean if you could see the walled city and any city near it within 2,000 amos, or it was more than 2,000 amos, but when you looked at the walled city, you automatically saw this other city, even if it was more than 2,000 amos, both of them would have the din of a walled city. Says the Gemorah. Wait a minute. Let's analyze this. Bishlama, it's understandable. Nira, it's possible to see another city with the walled city, af al pi she'eino samuch, even though it's not necessarily nearby. How does that happen? Mishkachas law, that could happen, that would take place, or that's found, Kagon, for example, the Yosva Berosh Ohor, the walled city is sitting on top of a mountain, right? And the other city, right, is nearby, and you see it when you see the walled city on top of the mountain. The other city may be only halfway up the mountain, right? So it's possible for the non-walled city, which is halfway up the mountain, to be seen with the walled city. As the Gemara says, Bishlama Nira, I can understand you'll be able to see another city, even though it's not necessarily nearby, Mishkachasla, if that would happen, that the walled city was sitting on top of the mountain, and the other city was halfway up the mountain. So you can see them both, and therefore they're both going to read it on the 15th. Ella, but I don't understand. Samuch, how could a city be right near the walled city? How could it be right near the walled city and yet you won't see it? How could such a thing be? It's right near the walled city, but you can't see it. Why is that? How does that happen? Yes, the Gemara, Ela Samach, but if it's going to be close by, even though it can't be seen, how does such a thing happen? Rabbi Yirmiyah says, no, it's pashut, the other way around. The other city is way down on the bottom. It's way down on the bottom. Now, it may be nearby. It may be within 2,000 amos, but the walled city is high up. And when you look at the walled city, you can't see the other city that's in the valley. The valley is being blocked. The village in the valley is being blocked. I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but it's not hard to imagine. When you're in Yerushalayim and you are standing at the edge of the valley known as the Valley of Gehinom, sounds like Gehenim.
And again, yeah.
But that valley was an Arab village down at the bottom of the valley, and you're standing up on near Har Habayis. You can't see that little village. It's tucked underneath the mountain. It's almost as if you can't see it. So that's the Gemara's scenario, that the walled city is up on the mountain. The other city is within 2,000 amos, but it's so low in the valley that you can't even see it because the mountain in front of it and on the sides block it out and you can't see it even though it's nearby. So we have those two scenarios, and the Gemara says both of these are going to be counted as walled cities. And today, there are many villages, I would say many, but quite a few villages and towns, even cities that are near Yerushalayim that are not necessarily within 2,000 amos, but are viewed together with Yerushalayim. One of the examples is Mevaseret Zion. Mevaseret Zion is on a ridge facing Yerushalayim, and they read the Megilah on both days. They read it on the 14th because it's not a walled city, and they read it on the 15th because it's so close to Yerushalayim. It can be not close, it's really more than a mil. It's way across the valley, but you see it at the same time. You see Yerushalayim. So when will they make the bracha? Will they make the bracha on the 14th or will they make it on the 15th? They're going to make it on the 14th because that's when the majority of people read. So they're going to read it on the 14th with the bracha, and they're going to read it on the 15th without a bracha, but they're going to read it on both days. Okay, that's the first statement of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Okay, there was not a significant Rashi here, so I'm going to go. Okay, I'll mention it very quickly. It says here, Benachal means makom nomach, a low place. Okay, let's go to the next statement of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Here we go. Next statement of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. We're going to move ahead because we want to try to get to the crucial statement of Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi later on in the Gemara. Okay, here we go. Next statement, the last of the wide, narrow lines on Gimel Amud Beis. The last in the narrow lines. Once again, another statement by Rabbi Yeshua Levi. Follow along, guys. Krach sheyashav. If you've got a city, a walled city, that was settled, and then the wall was put up after it was settled, nidon kikfar. It has the din of an open village. You can't call that a walled city. A walled city has to have the wall first and then settle, not settle and then put up a wall. My timer, what's the reason that we paskin this halacha that the walled city that is settled and at the end gets the wall is considered like a village? Diksiv, because the pasuk says, and it's quoting here at the end of Vayikra, once again in Parshas Bechukosai, dealing with the laws of a walled city. Diksiv, because the pasuk says, the ish ki yimkor beis moshav ir choma, a man who sells a house of dwelling in a walled city. And based on the way the verse is structured, it makes it sound like it's a bias in an ir choma, a walled city. And it means shehu kaf, it was surrounded already by a wall, and vilipsof yoshav, and then it was settled. Velo sheyoshav, and not that it was first settled, vilipsof ukaf, and afterwards it was surrounded by a wall. Okay, and this, of course, Rashi mentions Beis Moshav Ir Choma. You interpret the word to mean bias, Beis Moshav Shel Ir Choma. It's a house of a dwelling place in a walled city. So the city had to be walled first. I will return in a moment. Okay, I'll be right back. 1 minute. Okay, we're back. I got to take my drink. Okay. All right. So what happened was it was a bias Moshav Shel Ir Choma. Okay. A third statement today of Rabbi Yeshua Levi. We are now 6 lines from the bottom. V'Amar Rabbi Yeshua Levi. Rabbi Yeshua Levi now comes along and he makes another statement. Krach. Crucial statement. Krach. A city, a walled city. She'ein bo asara batlanim. That doesn't have 10 batlanim. We need a definition for batlanim. We'll come back to this. A city that doesn't have 10 batlanim, nidun kikfar. I don't care if it's got a wall. Even if it has a wall, it doesn't have the din of a walled city. It's got the din of an open village. My kamashmalan. What's the big kiddush? Tanina. We learned that later on, just a little bit further in the Brisa. Ezehu ir gedola. What's considered a big city? Kol sheyesh bo asar batlanim. Any city that has 10 batlanim. Pachos mikan, less than 10 batlanim. By the way, how do you translate batlanim? What would you say? How would you translate batlanim? 10 batlanim. What would you say? 10 what?
10 people who do nothing.
Do nothing. Yeah,
10 people who do nothing. They're bottle. Right?
Isn't by somebody? You're right, Batlonim. They do nothing, right?
They do nothing, right? That's the way we would translate it.
Right.
Well, we're going to look at Rashi in a minute. Very interesting. Okay. But anyway, he says, Kol sheyesh lo asar batlanim. Pachos mikan, less than 10, harezu kfar. That's considered a village. So if I have this later on the next daf, why'd you have to mention it over here? What's Rabbi Yeshua Levi adding to us? Answer the Gemorah, Krach itzvichalei. No, we needed to mention it because of the walled city. In what way? Af al gaf, even though the mikloi le me alma. Wait when you have a walled city, people might look upon the walled city as being affording them some protection. And so they may join into the walled city in order to have a sense of being protected. So they may come from outside the city and dwell in the city. And therefore, the Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi is adding that even if they come from someplace else, you can't count them. You got to have 10 batlanim from the city itself. It can't be that people came from outside the city. The only thing is, what's the definition of asara batlanim? We didn't settle that. We sort of gave the impression that asara batlanim means 10 guys who do absolutely nothing. But let's look at the Rashi on what he says of asara batlanim. You see my little hand over here, right next to the Gilyon Hashas, asara batlanim. You see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say here it goes. Asara batlanim. What's this? Shebetelim memlachtan. Batlanim doesn't mean they do nothing. It means they just don't have to work.
Retired.
Or they don't work. They just don't work at all. They don't need to work. They don't need to work. Either someone supporting them.
Excuse me, Rabbi, for interrupting. There's somebody on that's making a noise again.
You hear it now? I don't hear anything.
I think.
I don't hear anything. Okay. I will see if it comes again. Okay.
Yeah, here it goes.
You hear it again? Okay. All right, if that's the case.
It's like a smoke detector battery has to be changed.
Someone's got a smoke detector battery? Okay. All right, so I'll tell you what, I'll mute.
Let's wait.
I'll mute everybody, and then if you want to
It happens. You have to mute everybody. It's not right because they for one person that makes the noise, you have to mute everybody.
all right, okay.
It's the same thing everywhere.
All right, so be patient. We'll try to arrange this. Give me a moment, okay? See if we can get it done.
It's doing it again.
Let's see if we can get it done. Let's see if I can get this done. I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Let's see if we can get this done. All right, I'll have to stop the share and come right back. Okay. Stop this and we'll come right back. We'll go to participants. Okay. And mute all. Okay. All right, I'm muting everybody from this point on. If you want to talk, you're going to have to unmute yourself. Here we go. All right, let's go back to the share and get back to the share. Okay, here we go. All right, we're back. Okay. You want to talk now, you're going to have to unmute yourself. Here we go. Okay, so we're in the Rashi. Asar Batlanim, says the Rashi up here, if you're following along with me. Shebetelim imlachtan. They are bottled from any work. Why are they bottled from work? Says the Rashi. Sheyehu mitsuyin tamid b'veis hakneses. Their job is to constantly be in shul. They are putter from work. They are bottled from work for one purpose only, that constantly these 10 people are going to be in shul. Why? Shacharis v'arvis, both morning and night. The Gemara in Brachos on Vav Amud Beis says, Kivan Shabo HaKadosh Baruch Hu Beveis HaKnesses. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to the shul, below Matzah Ba Sham Asara, and he doesn't find 10 people, all right? The Gemara over there, let me get glasses, I'll be able to read it to you. The Gemara over there in the Mesechta Brachos makes a statement based on a pasuk in Yeshaya. I wrote it down on the side of my Gemara. That when he comes to the shul and he doesn't find 10 batlanim, he said, "Madua basi ve'ein ish korei ve'ein oneh." Why do I come, says Hashem, to the Beis HaKnesses, and there are no people? I call out, but no one answers. So because of that, Rashi quotes that Gemara, and he says that every town that doesn't have 10 batlanim doesn't have a real status of a city. When the time comes for davening, there have to be 10 people in the shul at the moment, because otherwise, it's as if Hashem calls and nobody answered. Okay, this is a very important pasuk, and those who are a little bit trying to help us improve ourselves to make sure that we have the Asara Batlanim at the right moment when the davening starts. Kol hakavod to you. Hashem should bless you all to come to the Zman so that we don't go into the category of not having Asara Batlanim in our shul. Okay, let's go further now. So he says, next statement of Rabbi Yosef Levi. Here we go. 4 lines from the bottom. Krach shechorav. If you've got a walled city that was destroyed, Vilibsov Yoshav, and at the end it was once again settled, Nidun Kakrach, it goes back to its original status. Even though it was destroyed, it's judged once again as a krach, and would read it on the 15th. My chorav. Now, let's analyze this. What do you mean the place was destroyed? If you're going to tell me that what happened was that the walls were destroyed, that means only Yashav in, Lo Yashav Lo. If it was resettled, it is a walled city. If it wasn't settled, it's not a walled city. That's not so. Tanya, didn't we learn in Raisa? Rabbi Eliezer Bar Yossi Omer, Rabbi Eliezer Bar Yossi says, when it says in the pasuk in Vayikra, now notice the unusual spelling here, Asher Lo Choma. Now, lo, there are 2 ways to spell lo in the Torah. One is lo with a vav, which means to it or to him, and the other way is lo with an aleph, which means no. Here, it's spelled with both a vav and an aleph. How do you understand this? So the Gemorah says, Asher lo choma means, af al pi she'ein lo with a vav, achshav, right? V'hoyo lo kodem l'kein, but it had one before then, is considered a walled city. Ela my chorav. What does it mean when it says it was chorav? Shechorav meyasara batlanim. That there were no longer 10 batlanim in the town, right? And if there are no longer 10 batlanim in the town, then it doesn't have the status of a walled city any longer. Okay, we're moving along with Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi's statements all around the concept of what is considered a walled city that is going to read the Megilah on the 15th. And again, the Tosfos are crucial here, but they're crucial in reference to walled cities having halachic application to laws of walled cities themselves outside of the reading of the Megilah. So we're not going to learn it because we're going to stick to the Tosfos that are directly related in some way to Mesechta Megilah. And we go to the next statement of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. On the bottom of Gimel Amud Beis, going right to the top of Daled Amud Aleph. Ve'omer Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. And Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi made another statement going right now to Daled Amud Aleph on the top. Here we go. Here is what he says. Lud, the city of Lud. Ve'ono, another city. Ve'gei Acharoshim, another city. Mukafos Choma Mimos Yoshu ben Habe. These were all walled from the time of Yoshua ben Nun. Rashi, Lud va'ono v'gei acharoshim, says Rashi, me ore Binyamin hayu. These were all cities from the tribe of Binyamin. Kidiksiv, and he quotes the pasuk in Divrei Hayamim, which the Gemara itself is going to quote in a few moments. Uvenei el Pa'al, the children of one of the descendants of Binyamin, known as El Pa'al, Ovar, Umisham, the Shamar, the sons of El Pa'al were Aver, Umisham, and Shamar. Hu bana es Lud ve'es Ono, and he El Pa'al built Lud and Ono. Ubesefer Divrei Hayamim, and in the Sefer Divrei Hayamim, Miyachso Shevet Binyamin. All this is from Shevet Binyamin. Gemorah Gomer Rabbi Yeshua Levi made Abe, and Rabbi Yeshua learned it from his Rebbe, the Mukafos Chomei Mimos Yeshua ben Nun, that all these cities had walls around them from the days of Yeshua ben Nun. And in the Mishnah, in Mesechta Erechin, Tnan Tarti Minayu. Two of them are learned, the Ka the Kamani, Lud,
Mani.
Ono. It mentions, it counts Lud and Ono, Eitzel Orechoma, She'ena Noagos Elohim Moshe Yeshua ben Nun, that they were known to be walls from the time of Yeshua ben Nun. Ulefi She Chomosehen Berios Chadashos Kide Armino Lekama, and since they had good, strong walls, Shenoflu Ve'echzikon, they fell down, but ultimately were strengthened. Uzkat Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi Lahayid. Therefore, Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi had to give testimony Shebechlal Mukafas Chomahin Lekros Megilah B'Tezvav, that they are in the category of walled cities that read it on the 15th. Okay, back to the Gemorah. Okay, so now, ask the Gemorah, Vahani Yehoshua Baninu, but these cities, Lud, Ono, and Gecharashim, were not built by Yehoshua ben Nun. And didn't we say that the only time you count them as a walled city is in the time of Yehoshua ben Nun? El Bananu, did not El Pa'el, the descendant of Binyamin, built them, Tiksiv, and he quotes the pasuk of El Pa'el, Ava, Misham, Vishamar, and who? He, El Pa'el, Bana es Ono v'es Lud, Ubenosera, he built those cities. Yes, the Gemara, no, Ulutaimech, but wait a minute, I have a better kasha. Asa Baninu, isn't it true that the king Asa, from the tribe of David, built them, and not Binyamin, Tiksiv, and he quotes the pasuk, also in Divrei Yamin, by Yiven, and it's a little bit in parentheses, Asa es Arei Abetzuras Shel Yehuda. Omar Rebbe Elazar says, Ani Mukafas Chomei Mos Yeshua ben Nun Havu. The truth of the matter is, they were walled in the time of Yeshua ben Nun. Chorav b'mei Pileges Begiva. Wow. They were destroyed in the terrible incident that took place at the end of Sefer Shoftim, in the war between Binyamin and all the other tribes over the absolutely abhorrent event of Pileges Begiva, which we're not going to get into tonight. I just mentioned it. You look it up at the end of Sefer Shoftim, and they were destroyed at that time because all of Klal Yisrael went to war against Binyamin because of the disgusting way in which they acted. The Osa El Paul Bananhi, and then El Paul came and rebuilt those cities. Hodar Impul, and then they fell down again. Asa Shaptzinu, and along came King Asa, and he fixed them back up. And Dikanami, I can prove this to you, Diksiv, because the pasuk says, Vayomer Yehuda, and also in Divrei Hayamim, he said to the family of Yehuda, Nivne es ha'orim ha'ela, build these cities. Mechlal, the orim havu me'ikara shma mina. And so here we learn that they were already there once before. End of this section of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. And now begins the rest of the possibly most important statements that Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi makes on all of Daf Dalid, that has tremendous halachic ramification and is mentioned a few times in Shas. We're not going to be able to spend a lot of time on it today. We're not going to be able to get to this until the next time we learn together, but I want to introduce it so you have a chance to think about it, his statement, and take a look at the Tosfos and the Rashi on this crucial statement of Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi, so that by the time we come back in a few weeks, Yetz Hashem, we should all be gesund. We're going to get to this really to flesh it out in a beautiful way, and we're going to learn it beginning right now. Here we go. The Omer Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi. Halachic ramifications, guys. And Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said, Noshim chayavos b'mikra Megilah. Wow. Translate those words, please.
Chayiv and Megilah.
What does that mean? The Chayiv in what?
I've been reading.
In the reading of the Megilah.
Oh,
Reading.
Yeah,
Mikra means reading.
right.
That's
Not-
a powerful statement.
not
Well,
listen, not hearing.
Right. It doesn't say listening. Right. Right.
Because there's Mangrama.
Right. 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 Now, Mikra Megillah, Doraisa or the Rabbanon?
Rabban.
Rabbanon. If there's a Rabbanon law that the Chazal make, do they make changes to the basic Doraisa structure of the laws or not?
No,
No.
They
If they
can't.
make a law mid Rabbanon, it's structured the same way a law mid Oraisa.
right.
And if women are potter from all mitzvahs asay, shazman grama, and
Right.
mikra Megillah is required because of zman grama,
Grama.
women should be potter in the reading of the Megillah because it's a mitzvah asay shazman grama. And the Gemorah in Mesechta Kedushin, second parak, right, tells us that kol mitzvah asay shazman grama nashim pe turos. It's actually the end of the first parak. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mem Aleph, I think it is. So,
Okay.
so how do you go and make such a statement? So the Gemara tells us that Rabbi
But
Yeshua,
they're involved in the
Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi comes along and he says, "Noshim chayovas v'mikra Megillah she'af hein hayu ba'osa anes." That they too were involved in that miracle. And this Gemara appears 3 times in Shas. It appears here. It appears in Mesechta Pesachim, and it appears in Mesechta Shabbos.
Oh, Chanukah.
By Hanukkah, right? 3 times.
And what's Pesachim?
Dalit Kosos.
Oh, that closest.
Okay? Okay? So, Noshim Chayav Megillah She'af Eino Yibos HaNes, that they were also involved in this miracle.
How you means involved or just present?
What do you say?
How you? Shahafein how you?
How would you translate it?
Present.
Hoyu means present?
Present.
What
Yeah.
does Hoyu Ba'oso Hanes mean?
They were there. They were present.
Yes.
What does Be'oso Hanes mean?
On Purim.
No, they were there Be'oso Hanes.
They were also involved in the nest.
They were in the nace.
Of course they were involved.
Right. They was involved.
Okay, let's analyze. Let's analyze.
Okay.
Okay, let's analyze. Okay. By Purim, were they just part of the nace or were they involved in the nace?
They were
Involved.
involved.
How were they involved?
Esther and Malcolm.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. She's the protagonist. She is the nace. Right?
But the Lashon Hayu means literally means that they were present.
No, Hoyu means they were.
They were the nest.
They were Be'oso HaNes, in that nace.
Mm.
They were
In the
that
nest doesn't mean that they were that the women that Esther Malka was the nest.
She was
And by the nest,
integrally involved in the nace. She was the nace.
right? So the women were in the nest,
Exactly.
not by the nest.
Okay. What about Hanukkah? Were the women involved with the nace, in the nace, or were they just standbys?
Those standbys.
No.
the minutes.
What?
Oh, when she cut off his head.
Who?
Oh, right. Oh, right. Oh,
You're right. Who was this?
Oh,
Who's the
I
lady?
forgot the name.
Yehudis.
I forgot.
Yodis.
Yodis.
Yehudis. Right? She fed him some wine and cheese
Cheese, right.
And milk.
and milk, yeah. And he
And
lost
he
his head
went
over
to
her.
sleep.
Right? He lost his head over her.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice way.
So it was the woman who did the nest.
Okay. Okay. Now, what's the third case?
The Pesach.
Pesach,
Mitzrayim.
good, no.
Bishvil Nasum Chizkanias Nigalo Visenu Mitzrayim.
Okay, give me the example. Exactly right. You got it. Give me the example. Who are the Nasim Stanios?
She pulled out what's the name from the
Sure.
water, the
Or-
Nile.
That was Basia, but that was not
Basia.
Basia. Jewish people at the time.
Poor,
What?
Shifra, the Mialdos,
How?
by not listening to Paro.
Okay, go a step before that. It says Vayelech ish mi beis Levi, vayikach es bas Levi. Right?
Right.
Right. What happened over there? Rashi quotes the famous Medrash. What happened? Amram and Yocheved separated. Why?
Because of the Shibud.
It wasn't only because of the Shibud. What was the threat? What's going to happen if a baby boy is born?
He
They
killed
will
him.
kill. They will kill the
They'll
baby.
throw him in the river, right?
Phil.
Right.
So what did Miriam say to her parents? Rashi quotes it. Gzeiroscha kosher mishel paro. Sheparo lo gazar ela ala zchorim.
Right.
But by your separating, atem gozrin gam al hanekevos. Vayelech ish mi beis Levi vayikach es bas Levi. So in other words, it's because of the women that were willing to take that chance, Klal Yisrael was born. And that's why Rashi quotes the pasuk in Shir HaShirim, Tachas hatapuach erar tich. Underneath the apple orchards, I awakened your love. Because the husbands and wives would go out in the fields so that they wouldn't be followed by the Egyptians. And that's how Moshe was born. And that's how the whole nation was born. Okay, so we
I
started
have a comment on that.
But
Okay.
they didn't have a
if all-
Gezerah.
one at a time. Meyer is first. Go ahead.
Okay, if Paro killed all the Jewish males, and the women marry the Egyptians, the babies will still be Jewish based on the mother.
Okay, so,
So,
but the
so-
fact is, first of all, the Torah was not yet given, Meyer. So
Yeah.
we can't rely on that. Secondly, there was only one Jewish woman that was defiled by an Egyptian. No other woman would ever go near one of those low-life tumah guys. So that's not an issue. Every
Okay.
child there was
Just-
But
born
there wasn't a
with Kedusha of
Gezerah.
Tahara.
There
All right.
wasn't a Gezerah that they're not allowed to have kids. There was a Gezerah that they're not allowed to have any boys.
Right. So
Right.
she said, by your not living together, you're making it that no girls could be born.
So no girls can either be born.
Why not? If the girl's a baby, she's not going to get thrown in the river. If you
So
have a
the
girl, she won't
nest
get thrown in
was
the river.
on the male, not on the female.
Right. So by not living together, the husbands and wives made it that they couldn't even have girls. The message was trust in God. And Moshe was born from that union. And he was taken out of the river.
The
That's why-
truth is he was born from
He
a
lit up
woman.
high in BCC.
So the woman is part of the nest.
Oh, but the main thing is the women were the percussors of the nest. Exactly right. Okay, so we started this fascinating sugya tonight. There are so much going on over here. Just the language is strange. We just discussed that they were the nace. Which word there seems out of place?
But all this doesn't
So which
answer-
word here in Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi's statement, okay, that said, Sha'afein hoyu ba'oso anes. Which word is seemingly out of place?
Af.
Hain.
What?
Af.
Which one? Who says af?
Me.
Why? Based on what?
It shouldn't be exclusive. I mean, the part,
What does af mean? Sha'af
exclusive.
Also, like a secondary.
Secondary,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, but they're not secondary. They are the main.
right.
What if business sha'af or you both sides? Yeah, so we're gonna have to discuss this. And in Yetz Hashem, the next time we get back together again, we're gonna learn two fascinating Tosfos on this.
I just want to ask one more question. So that all these answers still didn't answer the question of that it says that the women should read.
Yeah, we'll come
They
back to that
don't
too.
read.
Yeah.
the
Okay, good. Yeah, good. We'll come to that too.
Good question.
Yes, it's good. Excellent question. An excellent question. Right? Because Rabbi Yeshua ben Levi said that the Chayav Mikra Megillah.
Mikra.
Yeah, if you look at the halacha in Tafresh Pei Hey, you're going to see it's not like that at all. Okay, so we're going to have to really crunch this.
One quick question: is a woman allowed to read the Megilah for other women?
What?
Is women allowed to read the Megilah for other women?
We will see that in a few weeks.
Stay tuned.
I can't wait.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If you can't wait, look it up.
Google it.
About it.
Tafresh Pei Test. Tosfos speaks about it, and you look it up in Tafresh Pei Test and see what the halacha paskins. Go ahead, look it up. If you can't wait, look it up. It's in the Shulchan Aruch. Tafresh Pei Test. Look it up. Don't wait. Go look it up.
I can't read the Tosfos.
You don't have to read Tosfos. Look it up in the Shulchan Aruch. Simon Tafresh Pei Test.
They'll wait. Bero's gonna wait.
I'll wait.
I'm trying to give you an impetus to go open the safer on your own. Go ahead, go. Yeah, you can do it. Go ahead. Puzzle it through. Go to Tafresh Pei Test. Check it out. Unbelievable. See the Ramah. Unbelievable statement of the Ramah. Machlokas of poskim on this. It's unbelievable. If you have a chance to take a look at it. Okay, so we're going to discuss this in Yitzchok next time. I want to give a big yashikaro to everybody who was so kind and patient and gave me so many good wishes. Baruch Hashem, thanks to your tefillos, I'm doing much better. I'm really getting.
Rabbi, Baruch
It'll take
Hashem,
another
you're
few
back.
days, another week or two, but by the time I get back, I hope to be 100% Hashem with Hashem's help, and we'll all be together and Hashem learning again soon.
Rabbi,
Right.
Chazeh Hashem, we have you back. And believe me that when you come back from Eretz Yisrael, you'll be even better.
Yes,
Right.
Hashem, I'm looking
Amen.
forward to it. Believe me.
Amen.
Believe me.
Main thing is Mizozang is in.
That's
Amen.
right.
You too.
That's right, Beryl.
Everybody should be gesund.
Amen.
Right.
And
So, Rabbi, did you find out your schedule?
about
What
came
day
back.
are you coming back?
I haven't.
No, I want to know how many weeks are we going to be missing?
It was at least two. At
Two
least
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Wait,
That's
wait,
all.
back.
How could that be?
Wait till tomorrow morning. I'll let you know.
Because next Tuesday is 1 week, and then there's 2 weeks that the rabbi is in Israel.
You want to wait? Be patient.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can check it. Hold on.
Uh-huh.
Right, leaving the 31st, it's next Tuesday, it's one Tuesday. And February
Yeah.
7th, 2 Tuesdays.
It's 2 Tuesdays,
When's
and
the
next
day
week is
back?
3 Tuesdays.
When's it came back? When's it came back?
Yeah,
Hold on.
it's
let me-
3 weeks we're missing.
Well, at least two. Okay,
Mark, it's 3 weeks.
okay.
Okay, how
Yes,
many
it's like-
shabbosim? That's the way you look at it.
Okay, let's wait and the Rebbe will
Hold on
tell
a
us
second.
in 1 minute.
Could we possibly preempt this year for the day before?
I told the rabbi to do the shear from
Monday.
Eretz Yisrael, so we'll have it 4:00 in the morning. Everybody has it. Over there, it'll be 11 in the morning.
Heshi, what day of the week is Tuesday, February 14th?
February 14th is a Tuesday.
Right. So I will not.
Come out that day?
I will not be giving a shiur that night.
Okay, come out the 21st. 21st.
21st.
21st of
So
February.
3 weeks, right? Okay. 3 weeks,
Right.
20.
Very good.
Very good. Okay,
So
very good.
Mark, put it down
But-
for the 21st.
Right, got you.
21st. Okay.
Okay.
The 21st. That's when I'll be giving the next shiur.
Main thing
Although-
is the Rebbe
Although on the
go
16th,
gesund and come back.
yeah,
gesund.
on the 16th, which is Thursday,
You're
Yeah.
going to have a parsha shear?
Parsha shiur. And yes,
Okay.
Okay, Mark, put that down the 16th.
Okay. One thing at a time. Okay.
Okay.
Only
So
you,
that
man.
means 2 weeks till the Chumash Rosh Hashanah and 3 weeks till
Right.
the.
This Thursday
Okay.
night, there is going to be Beli Neder, and Yetz
This
Hashem,
Thursday, yeah, right,
with
okay.
Hashem's help, we will have a Parsha Shiur this Thursday night.
Mhm.
Right? All right? And then it will be again on the 16th of February. So
Right.
we'll have 2 weeks of that.
One thing I gotta say, tonight.
Well, but you're gonna send out
was
a video
special.
for the newsletter. Yes, that'll go out.
The
Yeah,
newsletter,
he always says that.
the newsletter of Yetz Hashem this week will also go out, yes. Yes.
Rebbe
No, it
owes
means
us
when you're in
too.
Eretz Yisrael.
I'm gonna make a video each week.
Mhm.
Rebbe, the
He always
Rebbe
does that.
owes us too.
Yetz Hashem, I will make a video each week to send over.
No, because we missed one.
Yeah, well, you know, I was out of commission. Trust me.
But the way that the
So the
rabbi
Rebbe
did
has
it
to
was
be
very good.
Shalom.
The way the rabbi did it was very good.
We had a backup. We had a backup.
Yeah, very good. It was a great job.
Okay, so Rabbi, have a good night. Thank you. So Zank is
Have a good
over.
night.
The
Rabbi.
Rebbe soll sagen, Gesundheit.
Yeah, you too.
Rabbi,
Yeah,
Rabbi,
yeah.
you're not doing the daf till you come back from Eretz Yisrael, right?
I have a Yetzirah to come tomorrow morning and do the daf, but my president in charge of AD affairs says
Your wife.
she says you got to take.
Well, tomorrow's opening day for Nazir.
That's why I
so
wanted
you
to be
should
there.
be there.
Right,
I
right,
wanted
right.
to
Open
do
day.
that.
Open your day.
Well, give me an
Always a big-
hour. And
always
I'll
a
know
big
for
crowd.
sure. I'm still working on it. Okay, everybody, have a good night.
Go,
Have a
thank
good
you.
night, Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi.
A gute Nacht.
Good night.